Rockstar Games, the creators of iconic titles like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, are facing accusations of becoming a mere shadow of their former selves, leaving us, their fans, bewildered. Has the almighty dollar taken precedence over the art of game development? Today, we will discuss 10 reasons that are sure to raise eyebrows, explaining why Rockstar has turned into EA. Rockstar, the name that once symbolized innovation, now stands accused of practicing the art of deception, specifically accusations of hiding predatory microtransactions beneath the facade of blockbuster games that have left fans feeling betrayed. As per Take-Two's business report, and microtransaction earnings in Q3 22 alone were over $551 million, an all 5-year high. And this gets bigger. Grand Theft Auto alone has accumulated over $7.3 billion since GTA 5's launch via GTA 5 Online. These comprise of the revenue made via in-game cars, weapons, and cosmetic items, and all are made available for purchase via virtual economy, shark cards that can be bought using real-life money. These shark cards were never made available or talked about at the game's launch. Instead, they were introduced months after the game's launch. And if you ask the question why, well, I think you already know the answer to the question. Once the players got immersed in the candyland of GTA 5 Online, the shark cards were introduced to make them buy those juicy and eye-watering items mentioned earlier. Apart from this, the prices for these in-game items have been inflated to an extent, and still, there is a considerable amount of grinding required to get access to those items that you still need. Brace yourselves, because point 2 is a maze you won't believe. From virtual currency to loot boxes, it's like stepping into a virtual casino where the house always wins. I mentioned loot boxes because back in 2018, Strauss Zelnick, who became the chairman of Take-Two in March 2007, while addressing a legislative concern over loot boxes placed by the Belgian Gaming Commission against the likes of Activision, Valve, and Electronic Arts, mentioned, and I quote, "As it happens, it is not a game mechanic we typically use. Although we have used it in the past, it's not a primary game mechanic for our titles. But we think game mechanics need to be tailored to the experience, and this can be an appropriate game mechanic." Well, what this basically means is that he wasn't really against loot boxes. And years later, we get introduced to the Diamond Casino. This casino offers various gambling activities including slot machines, roulette, blackjack, and more. Now, imagine this. First you buy shark cards, and hence virtual money via real-world money. And then you use the virtual money to buy casino chips. And this is used for betting. And we all know this can be directly related to addictive behaviors, especially for individuals who might be more susceptible to such patterns. So, loot boxes may be too dicey for Rockstar to replicate directly in the games, but the presence of an all-out casino replicating real-life gambling is okay. Remember the era of story-driven DLCs? GTA 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony, or Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption. These added depths to the stories we loved, but lately fans find themselves wondering why those enriching DLCs are missing for GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, the answer is simple, obvious, and a complete no-brainer. GTA Online was making, is still making, and will continue to make loads of money. And Rockstar is too busy dishing out updates to even concentrate anything solely related to single-player DLCs. In an interview with Game Informer, Rockstar design director Imran Sawar mentioned that GTA 5 single-player game was absolutely massive, and even Red Dead Redemption 2 felt complete, where the next-gen versions took a year of everyone's time to get right. Then the online component had a lot of potential, but to come close to realizing that potential also sucked up a lot of resources. In short, the beloved standalone DLCs were not worth Rockstar's time and investment at all, showcasing the fact that they really didn't care about the fans who longed for some sort of a continuation. And we have been left waiting since 2013 after GTA 5 and 2018 after RDR 2's release. Hold on to your controllers because Point 4 packs an emotional punch. In an era where Rockstar classics like GTA San Andreas and Vice City, Max Payne 2, Midnight Club 2, and Los Angeles, Red Dead Redemption and Eleanor have aged like fine wine, preserving their intrinsic appeal and captivating new generations of players, where every pixel, every polygon and all audio elements carefully blend the architecture, the bustling streets, the breathtaking landscapes that transport players into a world we enjoyed, whether it's the Wild Wild West in RDR or Grove Street in San Andreas. Rockstar remasters are really lackluster. These lackluster remasters failed to capture the brilliance and the essence of the originals. Their recent GTA Trilogy remastered faced heavy criticism for technical issues, graphical downgrades, removal of beloved features, removal of licensed soundtracks, and featuring a new art style where the characters look like a washed-out version of their original self. GTA Trilogy was clearly rushed. The issues prevalent in the mobile port of the game were copied over to the console and PC versions. Their incredibly pathetic rain mechanics made it impossible for the players to see through and rendered the game unplayable. And the playtesters had enough time to report these technical glitches, but Rockstar refused to show any gameplay footage, and neither were the critics given any early review copy. This is a trend in modern day gaming that needs to discontinue, something we saw during the release of Cyberpunk 2. And while CDPR took responsibility for releasing an unfinished product, the apology from Rockstar felt like they blamed the developers and threw them directly under the bus. Now, Point 5 takes us to the heart of a fierce debate. Should game launchers stay or be removed? Gone are the days when you can simply boot a game on your PC and enjoy your time right away. Instead, you are now greeted by game launchers. Speaking of game launchers, Rockstar Games Launcher is a platform intended to streamline access to Rockstar's diverse portfolio of games. But it made a seemingly mandatory requirement for all Rockstar games. This launcher has been criticized for its integration with other aspects of the gaming experience like multiplayer modes and online components. This limits the ability of players to fully immerse themselves in the interactive and social aspects of these games. This forced integration has caused disdain among gamers, ranging from issues where the launcher will fail to launch completely, to launching in offline mode, from server maintenance to downtimes, all of which halts even accessibility to single-player games, which in no shape and form should require online connectivity. Point 6 will be interesting because it dives into contentious waters. Now that we have discussed the half-baked remastered edition of GTA Trilogy and the utterly uncalled for forced integration of Rockstar Games Launcher, we really need to speak about the Rockstar classics that have been held captive under the pretense of console or PC architectural reasons or for obvious corporal greed reasons. But Rockstar Games revealed their worst kept secret, a secret that would baffle their fans. While preparing the launch of GTA Trilogy, the definitive edition, Rockstar removed GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas from all digital marketplaces. As we already discussed, the broken state in which the trilogy was launched, adding to the disdain of the fans, these games were now made unavailable, forcing us to buy the buggy mess of a game, and that too at a $60 to $70 price tag. Here's an eye-opener that will challenge what you think you know. Rockstar has been milking GTA 5 for nearly a decade since its release in 2013, releasing and re-releasing it multiple times over all generations of consoles since PS3 and Xbox 360. And I'm pretty sure by this time any GTA fan at least has 2 or more copies of the same game either on multiple consoles or on PC. So just to explain the timeline, GTA 5 was released on September 17, 2013. The enhanced edition was announced a few months later for the next-gen consoles, PS4, Xbox One and the PC on June 9, 2014, and later released on April 14, 2015. In between, special content was teased for the players already owning the game on PS3 or Xbox 360 and buying the new version on PS4 or Xbox One. 3 years later, premium online editions were announced and released for PS4, Xbox One and PC on April 20th, 2018. And you may think, well, that's it, right? Well, wait, there was a further expanded and enhanced edition released for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X on March 15, 2022. So in a matter of 10 years, Rockstar re-released GTA 5 5 times, and I am not even counting the different bundles sold separately, like the Great White Shark bundle, the Whale Share bundle, or even the Megalodon Shark Card bundle. Well, somebody had to call it out, right? Well, the simple fact is GTA 5 Online makes money while others don't, which basically means Rockstar's decision to space out game releases is a calculated strategy to maintain a steady source of enormous income while not giving us GTA 6 yes for the last 10 years. And this in turn brings us to point number 8. Post the immense success of Red Dead Redemption 2, fans really wanted a taste of Red Dead Redemption 1. We all wanted to lace our boots one more time, and this time playing John Marston, especially considering the fact that the game never had a re-release since its initial release on Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 way back in May 2010. And we have a similar case study in terms of Grand Theft Auto 4, which was released way back in April 2008. That gritty, satirical take on modern society still holds its ground even 15 years post its release. And Nico Bellic is a character who is really close to a lot of old-timers like myself. Well, without digressing from the topic, Rockstar decided to release Red Dead Redemption not as a remake or a remaster, but merely as a port, which is a bit more than a copy and paste of the assets to work on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. And it's not even available for the PlayStation 5. And I really feel sorry for the fans when Rockstar stated that PlayStation 4 is a modern system, which is so funny since it's a 10-year-old system. And if you head over to the trailer of the announcement of Red Dead Redemption coming to Nintendo and PlayStation 4, that got really ratioed. I mean literally, there are more than 281,000 dislikes and counting to just 39,000 likes. And this port of the 13-year-old game has been priced at $50. This is not a remake, this is not a remaster, it's just a port. And that too is not handled by Rockstar but by Double 11 Studios, who worked on Fallout 76 and Rust Console Edition. Now picture this. If this game sells really well, do we expect ports of 15-year-old games mentioned as special releases and priced at $50? This is actually insane. With what Rockstar has done with Red Dead Redemption 1, I have a feeling that we may see a port for GTA 4 with the same price tag for the Switch and the PlayStation 4. Point 9 has a twist that has left the modding community baffled. Rockstar Games, once praised for the support of modders, sent a couple of private investigators to the home of a GTA 5 modder. The PC Gamer article actually covers this in depth. The mod in question made the claims on Reddit stating, "So, I just got a pair of PIs at my door claiming to be sent by Take-Two, handing me a phone with a person somewhere in the UK or US or whatever to discuss how to cease my activities with regard to Grand Theft Auto. That they know what happened before with Activision and want to not get the lawyers involved at this time. However, they have tested their legal standing already and are quite certain of their point and aren't willing to accept any solution other than ceasing my activities." That's the first one against the GTA 5 modding community. In another instance, Take-Two, which we know is a parent company, filed a civil action lawsuit against 5 individuals. These individuals had reverse engineered GTA 3 and GTA Vice City on GitHub without using any infringing code and actually improving the visual fidelity and the overall game to a huge degree. Games that were forgotten by Rockstar that they even existed. Take-Two, without responding to the counterclaim, launched a huge lawsuit against this small bunch of modders who weren't even making any money out of these mods. The lawsuit was finally settled, but this small group of modders were possibly financially charged for an undisclosed amount which will never become public. Now we reach the grand finale, which is point 10. I really wanted this to be an interactive session between us. If you buy a product, do you expect post-sale support for something you paid for? Well, Rockstar's customer support is not really something you may want to approach. Reports and actual call recordings where Rockstar support would disconnect calls when players would like to recover their hacked accounts from an unrelated email responses by bots. The support has not been up to the standards we expect. Rockstar now isn't the Rockstar we saw or known 10 years back. Rockstar Games co-founder and GTA creative leader Dan Houser left the studio in 2019 and things were already deteriorating. The cracks were already showing internally. This became more evident when Rockstar decided to kill off Red Dead Online and some so-called offensive content removed from a 10-year-old game re-released on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. The joke of the game called GTA Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. The decision of removal of licensed tracks, the underwhelming GTA Online San Andreas Mercenaries update, the removal of almost 200 cars from GTA Online, some even locked behind a paywall defending which Rockstar mentioned that they were streamlining shopping experience. And then there are more, the introduction of a predatory GTA Online Plus subscription with more locked content, and some of the previously mentioned locked cars were made accessible to the GTA Online Plus subscribers only. Also, as per the gamer, Take-Two CEO's bonus is directly tied to the microtransactions. I mean, how do you beat that? The Red Dead Redemption port to Nintendo and PlayStation 4 does not contain multiplayer, while the multiplayer still works on Xbox 360. With a price point of $50 and with lesser content, and justifying the price point as commercially accurate is baffling and does not make sense. But here's where you come in. I really want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe Rockstar's practices are truly anti-consumer, or do you see these actions differently? And remember, the power of the gaming community lies in its collective voice. By the way, we spent a great deal of time researching and making 10 amazing details in Assassin's Creed Mirage video and 10 reasons why Blizzard's Diablo 4 became its fastest selling Diablo game ever. Until next time, keep gaming and keep gossiping.